I did decide to keep doing the night walks, y'all, since I know some of y'all say y'all like the night walk videos better. Some of y'all been telling me this in the comments and even in the live chats. Like, I love the night walks. So I'm going to continue them because I know how some of y'all are up at this time, you know. Divine ones like to get up early. Some of y'all get up at 4 a.m. So I'll do the night walks, y'all, just so y'all don't lose the channel. But I ain't doing no more daylight videos. No more public daylight, y'all. I'm done. Okay. I can't do the daylight energy online no more. Plus, I have a lot of things I have to do during the day now. So I just can't be dealing with toxicity and live chats anymore. But I was about to go on my walk. And I heard everything is provided for. Only thing you need to worry about is your gifts. That's what I heard, y'all. And I heard if it's not illegal, why leave? So don't be so quick to leave your jobs, y'all. I heard the angels say don't be so quick to leave your jobs, your 9 to 5 jobs, if it's not illegal. Some of y'all got to learn how to look at it like if you ain't being harassed or ripped off at your job, what is the point of leaving? You know, I heard the angel say to me, your job, that is not your gifts. That's just to provide you with the basic stuff. You know, food, clothing. That's all that's there for. It's not there for you to try to climb, become successful, rise, or whatever. Like, you're not there for that. Only way that could happen is if you're actually doing your gifts, if your job is your gift, is your gifts. But if your job has nothing to do with your gifts, then that's no different than just a thing you use to get some stuff you need. That's it. I decided to accept this guidance I've been getting lately, that they've been giving me, the angels been giving me through these synchronicities. And the synchronicities, I hope I'm on the right channel, y'all. I'm gonna pause the channel for a minute. I'll be right back. I guess I am on the right video. I am on the right video. Right channel. So they were telling me that, like, all the greatest always start at the bottom. Like, the greatest of greats always had to start where they had to be humbled. Okay? So it's like unavoidable. You're being taught how to appreciate less, what you think is less, but society say is less, so that when you get a lot more cash or you get a lot more fame, you'll respect it and appreciate it and take care of it. See, the character training begins. That's what they're telling me. The character training and behavior training begins at the very beginning of your journey to success. And it's unavoidable. Okay? So I decided when I made this decision that I would just be like, okay, I'm going to accept that I'm being taught how to love and appreciate what I've been taught to be mediocre or small. So I decided to take a lot of the advice of Charles Bukowski. I know that is so weird because people be like, Charles Bukowski, he's not this like super monk or whatever. But Charles Bukowski had it figured out. Okay? Charles Bukowski was able to leave any writer in the dust. Any writer could be left in the dust by Charles Bukowski. Because Charles Bukowski was like the Albert Einstein of poetry. Okay? Quote me on that, y'all. Meaning this. Charles Bukowski said his energy is for his gifts. His energy was not for greed, hoarding, a whole bunch of friends, distractions. I don't even think he owned a TV. Charles Bukowski was the minimalist of minimalists, if we want to call it minimalist. Okay, the man literally only thing he owned was a typewriter and a bag of clothes. Now, how more minimalistic can you get? Okay, he talked about this. He talked about how it was important to have a life where you're living light. Okay. All right. All right. Put them in timeout. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. We're not doing this at night. Okay. All right. It's so funny that people are so quick to say somebody ghetto. If you're using that word ghetto on somebody's channel who's black and that's what you always looking for, you're racist. You got self-hate. Because white people live in these houses too. I see white people in these kind of houses. So stop it. All right, so let's continue. What I'm going to do for my night walks too, I'm going to be turning the chat off for a while so then people can learn some discipline. Okay, since people refuse, they won't be able to talk. So some night talk videos, there ain't going to be no talking in here. Told y'all, I'm tired. Don't crash my walks. Do not crash my walks. If you see somebody on a walk, you say something positive or don't say nothing at all, because I really don't have to be showing nothing on this video. I could go sit down up there, do this video, then finish my walk. Okay, as I said, okay, if you're getting knowledge on my walks, show some respect. For real. If you're attacking me on this walk, as dark as it is out here, you evil. That's what you are. You're evil. Okay, now let's continue. Charles Bukowski is an underrated modern day monk. And it's like people don't understand how raw and honest that he was when he said the 9-to-5 job is soul sucking. And he was talking about how it's almost impossible to put all your energy into a 9-to-5 job and think you're going to be able to do your gifts. Okay. I realize you have to be willing to let the world take care of you in any way that it can. You can't limit it to 9-to-5 job. Okay? You can't limit it to that. You have to use all the resources that's available to you so that your 9-to-5 job becomes a little optional. You're just there a couple hours a day and go home. You still got most of your day to work on your gifts. Okay? Your 9-to-5 job is never going to give you your legacy. Do anybody know anybody who was working under Steve Jobs? We don't really know their names, right? Why? Because they were working a 9-to-5 job for Steve Jobs. But everybody knows Steve Jobs. Okay, everybody know him because he was the emperor. But don't nobody really know most of the people who was under him. Okay. So, yeah, you know Steve Jobs. You know Steve Jobs, don't you? You heard about him. But what about all these people that was doing all the work under him? That whole team he had. Do anybody know all their names? Nope. Because that was their 9-to-5 job. Okay? Exactly. So the only way to get around it is you have to minimize how much energy you give to someone's legacy who will not give energy to yours. These 9-to-5 job people are not giving no energy to your legacy. As a matter of fact, as soon as you mention that you got a side hustle or side business, Watch how they get irritated by you. They turn cold. They don't like you. They micromanage your energy then. They want all your energy for their legacy. Okay? This is why you got to let this world take care of you. Let your mom and dad take care of you even when you're in your 20s. Let let your spouse support checks take care of you. Let welfare take care of you. Let the free clinics take care of you. Let your disability check take care of you. Everybody else, any other job out here, gets 25% of your energy. Meaning, you work out here, 9 to 5 job, 20 hours a week. That's it. That's it. When Charles Bukowski was working at the post office job, he wasn't writing all that poetry. He wasn't. That's why he quit. They didn't want to give him part-time hours. So once he quit his 9 to 5 job, and then he inherited some money off his father's death, I think. But it wasn't even a lot of money. You know what he did with that money? He bought himself a little cheap, humble bungalow, and then was on welfare for a little bit, okay? And then what did he do? He said, I'm going to let my friend start a publication and pay me $100 a month. Charles Bukowski is making $100 a month off his books. That might seem like very little, but he was also the truest minimalist you can ever meet. I'm not talking about the minimalists on YouTube where you see they still got plants on their table. You see they got all this fancy furniture. But Charles Bukowski didn't have none of that. If you look in the pictures, all he got is basically what looks like whatever came with the place, a table and a typewriter, okay? See what I'm saying? So when people say they can't afford to live, yes, you can. The problem is what you are giving yourself, most of what you're giving yourself, you don't even need for your legacy. Like you don't need, the thing is, the longer as you care what people think about you, the longer as you are trying to protect yourself from how people feel about you, you're never going to have the power of your, let me get on video. You're never going to have the power of your gifts like you want to. So surrender means surrendering from a time period that is sucking you dry and making you think that it's not. Okay? Through, you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. No, you don't. Do you know most of the things you can find to eat is right there at the Family Dollar? Right there. Cole Robinson was talking about that. Everything in the DG that you find to eat is in the Family Dollar. Canned tuna, canned chicken. I know y'all like, ooh, that's gross. But you really think the food that you're eating, that's laying in these farmers market, is any better? No. All kind of hands been on it, breath been on it. Who knows what was done to it before it was put out? This false sense of safety with, I just need high quality all the time, that's keeping us spending more money on stuff rather than our dreams. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Okay, let me just make this clear with everybody. Don't judge this city by one street. Okay? This city is so big. I don't live on this part. Okay, let's get that straight. I don't live on this part. But this city has a rural, well-kept side right there, a well-kept side over there, and definitely a well-kept side down there. There's only like 2 streets that's like this, and the only reason why they let it stay like this is because it's historical. These 2 streets have history, so they can't just go tearing down these buildings. Some of these buildings been here for over 100 years. Some of y'all need to learn how real estate and generational homes and generational buildings work. They would have to go through a whole lot to tear down generational buildings. Okay. Okay. Bye. Bye. This is where some of y'all need to live at. Some of y'all need to live right here. See this? The way y'all acting in here? The way y'all acting in here, some of y'all deserve to live in this. Maybe you'll have more respect and humbleness to you. Maybe you'll conduct yourself better. Maybe you'll stop jumping in people's live videos, judging and hating. Yeah, if y'all attacking me in here, you need to live in a building like that. You're not worthy of something nice. Okay. This building is nice. Look at this. See, there's always a gym next to a Cuba Zirconia. Look, somebody got their nice little business here. Look, nice little salon. So stop thinking negative about everything. Stop putting everybody in a box. This woman probably like, I got my nice business and I hope no negative people come here. See, but look, here's a building right here. That's not nice. But if you go right here, it's nice. Now shut up and get this knowledge. Now shut up and get this knowledge. Now, we're going to continue, and let me clear out all the trash because that's what's coming in here. Trash. Let me clear the trash out, y'all. Let's get all this trash out. Trash people block, they block knowledge. Let's get them out, y'all. Okay. Let's get all the trash people. Waking up 4 a.m. in the morning. All highed up. Okay. I'm not in Pittsburgh, PA. This is not Pittsburgh. All right. I'm in Pennsylvania, not Pittsburgh. No. Why is everybody thinking they know where I'm at by one street? This is where the real inspiration is. See this? See this? Y'all think y'all having breakthroughs by living in the nicest places? No, you're not. The creator demands balance. If everything's perfect and glamorous and glorious for you, why would you get ideas? Stephen King would love, in my poem that I wrote for my homework, Stephen King would probably write endless bestsellers over here. Okay? You need the dark for ideas too. No, that's not Pittsburgh. So stop checking signs. It's not Pittsburgh. People who know me in here will tell you, if she says she don't live in Pittsburgh, she don't. Stop Googling people's area codes. This is why you're wrong. This is why you're wrong. Somebody gonna argue with me about where I live at. Wow, that's why I kicked them out. Stop trying to find out where I live at. That's creepy as hell. Get this knowledge. Shut up. Get this knowledge. See how I got my finger on the block button. Boom. Clear out the trash. This is letting me know who's on my channel. Night videos, let me know what demons is in here. Okay. This is where some of y'all need to be. Some of y'all don't even need to have a government home. Y'all can't even conduct yourself in here right. I can imagine what some of your friends are going through who are poor. Okay, if you focusing on is talking crap on this street, then obviously, if you knew this neighborhood, you would know that some of the most brilliant, genius, gifted, and some football players that went to this school over here got drafted. Everyone I know who grew up in this neighborhood back in the 60s have high IQs. The school system over here is exceptional. My daughter went to the school system over here. All her friends got scholarships. All of them 4.0. These kids over here will leave our mind in the dust. They will leave you in the dust with intelligence. Period. And they stick together. You pick on one kid around here, and every single kid will come out and beat you up. So stop judging a book by its cover. You say F this neighborhood because you see one street. F your stinking shiny house, your stank butt. F your stank butt. The creator demands balance. There's always, first of all, y'all talking all that crap. Where the trash at? I bet you this street is cleaner than your shiny apartment street. Where is all the trash? Where is all the trash? For this street to be, oh, they damn sure they ain't leaving no trash out. There's white people that own their homes for over 100 years. They ain't even having all the, where the trash? Where all the trash at? People own their little mechanic businesses. This is where some of y'all need to be, to humble y'all damn self. Y'all so worried about the condition of antique homes, but y'all sitting up there living in real ghettos. This ain't no real ghetto. There would be trash. There would be people out here fighting, selling drugs. This ain't no real ghetto. I grew up in the ghetto in my teens. This is not no ghetto, so shut up. If this was a ghetto, there'd be people out already. So shut up. That's why let me tell y'all, some of y'all black folks in here hating. Y'all disrespecting these small business owners over here. Somebody black owns this daycare. Somebody black owns this daycare. That salon up there, owned by somebody black. That restaurant over there, that's always open every day, owned by somebody black. So y'all a bunch of coons up in here if y'all talking crap. This is exactly where some of y'all black folks need to go. Stop thinking that you're better off setting up business in the white neighborhoods. They don't want you there. Tell y'all, I be talking, it's Martin Luther King month. What coon can I come at? How many coons in here today? Y'all always think life is better on the bright side of the street. But guess what? We don't have the power on those streets. Tupac wrote his best work in the ghetto. So some of y'all need to understand, pressure makes a diamond. If you living in the perfect, flawless neighborhood, that's why you ain't gifted like me. Like, that's exactly why. There's no pressure. Yeah, I could walk around in the middle of the night because this ain't no real ghetto. Period. Ain't nobody going to snatch me. Shut up. Let's get the coons out. Let's get them out, y'all. Okay, let's get them all out. They sitting up there like, oh, she called me a coon and I can't talk now. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. Some of the cheapest places to rent is where y'all talking crap at. Look, this place shut down. Somebody already bought this parking lot. That's why they doing work out here. This place hasn't been closed in a year and somebody already bought it. Why? Because there's still people living around here. If this was a ghetto, believe me, you would see drug needles, trash. Where is the trash? Now, how many of y'all want to say, I feel stupid? I feel stupid. You feel stupid. The ghetto always have trash. Like this live video. The ghetto people coming in here right now. Trash. Trash. I don't hardly ever hear nobody getting beat up in these streets. I don't hear no gunshots. I don't hear nothing. Like, what I've been, no. And I don't live over this way. So let's stop. Stop assuming you know where I live. Why would I get on this video and show my place? Some of y'all it's like ridiculous. Why would I literally stand where my place is at and I'm on this video with insane people coming in here? Now y'all could go ahead and look up area codes, but that don't mean that's my area code. And this ain't Pittsburgh. Now let's get to it. It's 5 a.m. People waking up. I feel sorry for these people. Mental health problems, y'all. I can't wake up. Some of y'all must be on the in the South, huh? What is y'all? West Coast? Y'all West Coast? Woo, child, I ain't going to the West. If this how y'all act at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. and y'all acting this way, I ain't going to the West. I'm not in Pittsburgh. This is a quiet neighborhood. These people are retired. These students over here are scholarship recipients. NFL, some of these two of the kids here are in the National Football League, drafted. Just over the last 10 years, they had 2 drafts. So my point is pressure. Wow, people acting like that at 1:55 a.m. in the morning. These people didn't came from the bar. They didn't came from the bar in West Coast, and they out there walking the streets, drunk and high up. They done went and hit they crack coming in here. Quiet. Most you'll hear here is kids. These people here, these people over here, these grown-ups over here, they keep to themselves. Now I could take y'all on the really nice streets, but some of y'all is too busy trying to figure out this city, all trying to stalk me. Pressure makes a diamond. This is where a lot of y'all belong at. Start at the bottom. Stop trying to jump in the middle and think God gonna make you skyrocket. Some of y'all is trying to start in the middle of your path, because y'all do not want to be humbled. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Let's get back on track. Danny, I'm gonna get back on track. As I was saying, I'm gonna talk about the pressure. Pressure makes a diamond, okay? The easier it get for you, actually, the less and fast abundant you will be. You don't get quick breakthroughs when there's no pressure, okay? The unstoppable people refuse to look like and live like they're at the top. They refuse to, okay? They refuse to. I know some of y'all say, well, there's people that own $2,000, $3,000 apartment. Let me tell you, they're renting them out. You think people that is gifted, that his name in history books, do you think they are concerned about a glorious, glamorous 5-bedroom house? No, they're not. If that's taking up all your energy to keep nice, then that's why some of y'all are blocked. I got all these downloads is because I try to live more humble than yesterday. You know how Greg does say, go harder than yesterday? Live humbler than yesterday. 1 or 2 days a week, take a very quick shower. Use some baby wipes. For real, this is deep. Some of the most gifted people are like, I'll do some baby wipes this morning and move about my way. Look at Albert Einstein's hair. His hair was just picked out and gone and walked. He pretty much looked like he wore the same suits. I only had a couple suits. I bet you he didn't have nothing in that house when they came for his body. When he died, I know that house was able to be emptied in 20 minutes. They literally was able to move Albert Einstein stuff out of his house in 20 minutes. I am a very hardcore minimalist, but I'm not even as hardcore as Charles Bukowski. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there where there ain't nothing around me but a desk and my typewriter, couple of books. Everything can fit in one bag and I can go about my way. You know, when I get up in my 50s and 60s, I'm putting all my stuff in storage. Everything's getting kicked out. Everything. If I can't move out of my house in 1 hour, I don't want to live in it no more. Some of y'all are running to the libraries just to have breakthroughs. And yet y'all living in $3,000 homes, $3,000 apartments. Make it make sense, y'all. I don't walk these streets because I'm running from something. I walk these streets because it puts pressure. It puts pressure. I can step into the energy of real gratitude. No phony gratitude. Hi, everybody. And let me tell y'all, if y'all trying to figure out where I live at, that's creepy as hell. Like, that is so creepy. When I get on videos, it's like I'm about the knowledge, bro. I'm on a ridiculously long walk. I've been walking, I was already walking when I got on this video. So I've been walking almost an hour at least. Okay, now, Hemingway, I know some of y'all, look, I'm gonna tell y'all something that the angels told me. Y'all been lied to about the famous people. They're tricking you. The public world, the publicity world is making y'all think that those people had money when they did that stuff. They didn't have no money. Hemingway wrote his best-selling novels while he was on welfare in a very humble home at his kitchen table while his kids were running around the table. Hemingway was dirt poor when he wrote his Nobel Prize winning books. But they will only show you the place that he got after. Why? Because this country is racist. They don't want to show you where the white famous people came from, the humble beginnings. Okay, they don't want to show you that. They want you to think that Hemingway had that nice place in Paris with a pool when he wrote that. No, he didn't. That was the beginning of his decline. See, he never should have moved there. He should have stayed exactly where he was. He started hanging out with block writers, and they were just all leeching off his energy. Okay? Are you triggered? Is this somebody white in here triggered? Somebody white in here triggered by my statement. Is there a Karen in here? The point that I'm making is, why would they hide? Why would they? Okay. So are you coming for me, minority? Are you coming for me? I bet you wouldn't come for me if I was Mexican. I don't see y'all Mexicans marching for black folks. So I don't want to hear your mouth. I don't want to hear your mouth. Go back to your Mexican place. Y'all don't march for us. I don't like the way y'all treat us. And my father was half Mexican, and he had to cut off his Mexican family. Toxic. They was racist towards his black wife. Bye. Goodbye. Don't come for me if you don't march for me. Don't come for me. Y'all know I don't play. No, I don't do privileged minorities. I don't. You can have a privilege, you can be a minority still with a privilege over other minorities. Nope, don't come for me. You ain't black. Don't come for me. Of course, Mexican people some of them got similar genetics as white folks. So don't come for me. Don't come for me. Not during Martin Luther King month. Don't come for me. I will kick you out. Okay. No. Nope. No. We ain't the same. No, we ain't the same. Black and Mexican ain't the same. No. No. They got straighter. Some of them got straighter, thin, white people type here, loose texture here, light skin. Nope. Get out of here. Get out of here. Don't. Tell that to Trump. If we all one race, then make this country see it. Make this country act like we are. Until black people get their justice, until we get our justice, you're not coming at me telling me we all one race. Shut up with that. No. Shut up. Period. Y'all doing all this during Black History Month. Trifling. Support black people. Shut up. No. Y'all didn't march for Breonna. Shut up, Mexican woman. Shut up. Where was you? Where was you? You stayed home. You stayed home. But you'll march for black man if you're married to him, right? No. Bye. I don't want to hear it. Y'all know how protective I am about black women energy. I will beat somebody up. If I see somebody hurting a black woman, I will jump in it and start going ham. Like, for real. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Some of y'all just don't know how protective I am about black women. I seen how my mom was done right before my eyes. Discriminated against in grocery stores. Black women being beat on the street and nobody helping. I've seen it. I saw a black woman stabbed to death by a man and everybody kept walking by. No, I'm done. I'm done. No, we ain't the same. We ain't the same. I'm a descendant of documented slaves. Now I'm bullying. Will you please apologize? I'm a descendant of documented slaves. My grandfather George was a slave, and so was his mom, and so was his one-armed aunt. Genealogy report, baby, right there on our Facebook. We have a historical Facebook for our family. No, we ain't the same. My grandfather did not get reprimands. No, he was a 17-year-old slave. Get up out my energy and act like we the same. We ain't the same. I need a can of YouTube mace. Somebody, I don't give a damn. Why you always say that when black people say that? Did you say that about Jewish people? When Jewish people talk about the Holocaust, do your coon butt say that? Do you? No. No. Y'all always sitting up there turning shit around on black people. But y'all shut y'all fucking trifling mouth when Jewish people talk about the Holocaust. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up with that covert goalpost moving. You're a narcissist because you moved the goalpost. Period. Acknowledge what's going on, what's happening to black women. Acknowledge it or shut the fuck up. Because you acknowledge the Jewish people situation. You acknowledge the Jewish people situation. Y'all go in fucking humble energy as soon as they talk about what they went through. When the Holocaust month come and LGBTQ month come, y'all motherfuckers be humble as fuck. But soon as black women say some shit, y'all, everybody get oppressed. Shut the fuck up. Before I beat you the fuck up if I see you on the street. Shut up. Y'all know how I get real irritated when people dismiss what black women go through. Shut the fuck up. And I'm being nicer than my older sister. You come with that energy with my older sister, she will literally punch you in your fucking face. Now, you either going to acknowledge what we have gone through and what our ancestors have gone through during Black History Month, or just get the fuck up out of here, for real. Go the fuck back to your slave master. Let us have our month. Let us have our fucking month, bitch, in peace. Can't even let us have our month in peace. Can't even let us have our month in peace. Can't let us talk about what we're going through. Can't let us talk about what our grandmothers went through. Can't. I want to see y'all do this shit on a video of a Jewish person. I double dig your ass. Y'all scared. plenty of discrimination. I had a white person on my job say, you could take the black person, you could take the black person out of the plantation, but you can't take the plantation out of a black person. Somebody said that on my job. I had a white person say, we have enough monkeys around here when I went to give them their invitation to the zoo. Bitch, shut up. You don't even want to hear our stories. You don't even want to hear our stories. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You couldn't even handle what we go through. No. Then shut the fuck up. Get out. Get out. Either acknowledge it, show some compassion, or don't talk in here. Don't talk in here. Don't talk in here. You're out. This is our fucking month, bitch. This is our fucking month. I'm a descendant of documented slaves. You're either gonna respect me in this video or you'll never fucking talk on this channel again. Understand? You coon ass motherfuckers. Understand? I don't want to hear it. I decided. I said, let some coons come in here. Let them come. Out. Bye. This shit did happen to me. This shit did happen to me, bitch. This shit did happen to me. I was denied jobs over discrimination. I had the same fucking qualifications as I saw the white people that got hired for the same fucking job. Because I went to school with the same white people. We went to the same business school, bitch. I knew their grade point average and I knew mine. I was more qualified. I was typing 90 words a minute. They was typing 50 words a minute. And where the fuck was my affirmative action, bitch? Where was my affirmative action? I didn't get it. Their ass got it. Get the fuck up out of here. You don't even want to hear my stories, bitch. Out. You gonna hear what I gotta say, and then I'm gonna kick your ass out, because it's my month. Now, black people need to be in the same energy. I'm having the same, and this, bye. And. Bye. Nope. Don't tell me to take it easy. Out. 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 It's my month. I'm not, no. Out. 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 Nope. I'm cold cutting like a motherfucker during January and February. No. Say something nice or get the fuck out. No. Because y'all sit up there marching for every LGBTQ person in the world. Because y'all know y'all benefit from it too. Everybody benefit from that. White? No. Bye. Out. I'm clearing out the trash. I'm clearing out the trash. Bye. Out. Out. That's why I did this video, so I can see who's on here. Out. Okay. Now that we got a lot of the trash out, we can continue. As I was saying, by it being Black History Month, I have -0 tolerance for disrespect. I told y'all yesterday that this was primarily volunteer work. Okay? Primarily volunteer work. Bye. Bye. Out. 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 Nope. This is our month. I'm like Jane Elliott when she did that girl. Did y'all see that video with Jane Elliott where she said out? Nope, we're not doing it. When it's our moment to talk about what we go through, you either show some compassion or get out. But no, Martin Luther King's birthday is being celebrated right now in January. And it goes on even through February. Okay? It goes on and goes into Black History Month. So, nope, out. Bye, out. Out. If they hear out enough, they'll go out. I'm doing a Jane Elliott on people now. Nope. You pull anybody into our moment when black women are talking about what they're going through. And if I hear anybody else mention, out, out, out. There's other leaders of other races just as trifling. Nope, out. I like them both. I like them both. When you're ready to stand on a balcony in front of a bunch of KKK people who will shoot you in your face, and you know they will shoot you and not care, and you're black, I like you. That's what Martin Luther King did. He was still risking his life, and he knew he was. So dismiss me. People know me around here. They see me on this video. They know don't fuck with me. I'm not. No, I'm not. No. I don't got no mama. I wish somebody would fuck with me. My parents are dead. I wish somebody would fuck with me so I can let out all this heat. No, you go back to Africa. The flight go both ways. Jane Elliott said the flight go both ways. We built the capital. You go back to Africa. Look like what? What am I looking like? What am I looking like? Out. Out. Nope. I don't owe nobody likability. Out. Out. Nope. Out. Nope. I'm not. No more. No more. This is volunteer work. No more. Out. Out. We doing a purge right now. I've been at purging energy all week. Out. Now they'll never be able to talk. Out. Out. I'm right near the post office. Y'all really think something's going to jump off near the post office and near a school and near a police station? Shut up. Till you know this neighborhood, shut up. There's a police station there. There's a school there. The post office is right there. Y'all living in fear? Y'all not fucking afraid? Y'all never gonna get shit done. Y'all never gonna, I'm telling y'all, if y'all living in fear like this is why some of y'all will go to a real hardcore ghetto and get beat up as soon as you step out the door. Telling y'all better stop living in fear. Some of y'all can never live. I lived in a ghetto. If y'all was living in a real ghetto where some of the most gifted people are, they will be able to sense your fear energy as soon as you come out the door. You should be scared of the police. You should be scared of the police. They have a gun. You don't. You should be scared. Bye. Bye. I don't have a lot of fear in my voice. I'm tired. I've been walking over an hour. I'm talking loud out here. You don't think these people can hear me? I done cussed a lot of people out already that tried me in this neighborhood. This one girl was like, I'll pop you in your mouth. I said, I want to see you do it. Let me see you fucking try. I told y'all about the story. I want somebody to tell me that. Don't fuck with people who don't got parents. It's dangerous to fuck with people who lost their parents and their siblings young, who's grieving. Leave grieving people alone before we go ham on you, like for real. I done seen grieving people swing on people, like leave us alone. I am out of breath. Out. Out. Period. Look, I'm trying to get all the coons. This is purge time. Let's get all these coons, all these passive racist people, dismissive people out. Out. I'm not getting into it with nobody. As soon as I see if the first sentence is dismissive, out. I don't even want to hear what else you have to say. Out. You don't know my religion. Out. I'm getting my steps in. Y'all ain't. Some of y'all sitting on y'all butt all stinky, funky and foul and trifling, attacking me. Miserable as hell. Need to be working on your body. Get your steps in. Guess what? When I get off this video, I will be 250 calories at least smaller. And some of y'all will still be fucking fat. Truth be told, some of y'all will still be fucking fat. I lost my mom and dad and my brother right around COVID. I went from burying my dad, my brother, my mom, and then right into COVID. And then I buried my uncle, my oldest uncle. And before my mom, I buried my grandmother. I was literally going to funeral after funeral, even during COVID. I couldn't even go to my uncle's funeral because of COVID. So please, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I just lost my father-in-law. Some of y'all know I just lost my father-in-law Christmas morning. I'm not trying to do this with y'all. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. My father-in-law, he been my father-in-law for 20-something years. He was my father-in-law when I wasn't even 21. No, I'm grieving right now. These walks is helping me work through missing one of my best friends. My father-in-law was my best friend. He was one of my best friends. So don't come for me. I'm not in the fucking mood, y'all. I'm not in the mood. Then shut the fuck up and be nice. No one has to tell your trifling ass. This is why the creators say just be nice. Nobody has to tell you what they're going through for you to be fucking nice. For you to be fucking nice, no one has to tell you that they're grieving. I only have had, 3 years to grieve about my mom. And I only had 2 years to grieve about my uncle. And now I'm grieving about my father-in-law, who's been my father-in-law for 20-some years. I'm all cried out. No more tears won't even come out of my eyes. When I was at the, when we all was gathered Christmas morning, just finding out our father-in-law died in the back room, in his bedroom, I said, y'all, I wish I could cry. They were all like ready to break down. I said, I can't cry. There's no more tears. I'm cried out. I'm cried out. I'm crying over 5 people. I can't cry no more. My heart and my chest start hurting. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. So all I could do is just sit here and stare off into the distance. So I don't want to hear no more. I'm not in the mood. I lost my mother, the last oldest woman in our family. The oldest under my grandmother. My mother was the oldest child. You know what happened to my family when my mother died? That's a masterpiece on the chessboard. So don't fucking leave me the fuck alone. For real. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't care. I gotta look out for dogs though, y'all. See, this is why you be nice. Some of y'all don't know. People walking down the street grieving and shit. And then gonna sit up there. And I can see some of y'all pictures. Like, why y'all, some of y'all got pictures up being trifling. Fuck out of here. Some of y'all know how horrific my stories are. If I told y'all the shit, okay? I lost my first child on my birthday. Yeah, that's crazy, ain't it? My mother was supposed to be buried on my wedding anniversary. But my sister was like worried that it was going to take a toll on me. So we had to keep her body on ice an extra day so that I don't cry to the ground because she's buried on my wedding anniversary. So I had to choose between having her buried on my daughter's birthday or my wedding anniversary. So we chose my daughter's birthday, which was the very next day. Okay. And so my daughter was all breaking down on her birthday at a funeral. So, and we went from that into COVID, and they said my mother could have died from COVID because she died barely a year before COVID and she had similar symptoms. She had the exact same things wrong with her lungs that they found in COVID patients. So dismiss me. I'm not in the mood for negativity. On my birthday, I lost 3 babies. My son, I miscarried at 8 months. And he didn't come out. He had to be taken out of me. He was near death. He was almost dead. They couldn't save my unborn child at 8 months pregnant. So I'm done. Like for here, in my mind, I don't got no tolerance for disrespect. My energy, I've had people come around me and say, even Jenny drivers say, woo, I could tell you've been through a lot. Your energy is so strong. People that's been through a lot so young, we are protected by God, okay? And I wasn't pregnant by any old man out here. I was pregnant by my husband when our son, at 8 months pregnant, died inside me. I went to get a checkup just to be told he's almost dead. So I don't want to deal with no negativity no more. I stay alone. I don't have no friends. I don't want no friends. Because I've been and fucked somebody up, y'all. I'm telling you, my patience is gone. I write. I have a poem I'm working on right now, and I've been working on for 10 years. It's taken me 10 years to write because it's about losing my baby. Every time I try to write another stanza, I get out of breath. I have a panic attack, and so I keep adding a stanza like every year. My uncle died 2 years into COVID, and his wife didn't want to talk about it, which I've since he probably did die of COVID. We were all at a funeral standing close to each other the year before COVID. Meanwhile, COVID could have been getting us all. Crazy. I didn't even get to go to my oldest uncle, my mother's brother, who has the same mom and dad as her, the oldest one. I couldn't go to his funeral because of COVID. He died a year after my mom. So that's messed up. They were around the same age. He was 1 year younger than my mom. So basically, God just took two masterpieces, the oldest female, the oldest male. God took back to back in my family. So basically, our family history roots is gone. The people that have all their information, they're dead. I'm glad that I spoke to my mom and found out a lot of stuff. Otherwise, our family wouldn't even know the stuff. My son died at 8 months pregnant, a month before my baby shower. I was actually ready to go to my baby shower in like 2 weeks. I was trying to wait till I was real big to go to my baby shower. So after they took my dead baby out of me, and I tried to keep him in there. The doctor said I needed mental help because I was trying to still deliver my baby, saying it was too dangerous to do that. They brought some head therapist at a hospital in to talk me into letting the dying baby go, because I was refusing. And then I went home to baby shower plans. And I was in business school. I was about to graduate from business school. I was about to get my associates. And we were planning to move in our first apartment. All this was happening around our wedding, baby shower, moving in our first apartment, and everything just came down. Just came down, y'all. So I know what it's like. And guess what? I went through it by myself with only my sister, my mom, and my husband. Okay? None of the white people in my family came to see me. Now tell me, y'all gonna tell me discrimination don't exist? How come none of the white people sent me condolences stuff? I got plenty of white people in my family. Plenty. They all knew. Nobody called to say I'm sorry for your loss. Nobody. I was just sitting in the emergency did baby delivery room with my mom and my husband. And my sister's on their way. That's it. All my white family members? Nope. So y'all not gonna tell me the discrimination don't exist. Y'all not gonna tell me that. Okay? My white sister, my white, I have a half white auntie, okay, who's rich. She went to my mom's funeral, but did she come? Did she send condolences when my baby died? No, no. You know why she went to my mom's funeral? Because my mom's father is mixed. That's why. She's related to my mom because she is the daughter of the brother of my mother's mixed father. So that's the only reason why she came. She just came to honor her dad. Since my dad's mixed father was her dad's brother. See what I'm saying? But she didn't give a damn about me. So people just go ahead. None of the white people came out. Only my husband's parents came to our wedding. None of the white people showed up. Yet I went to their parties. I went to their weddings. I went to their stuff. I had to tell my husband the other day, I said, where was your white friends at? All their weddings and parties and baby showers we went to? Why wasn't they at our wedding? Yep, I got no cards. Only card I got, only condolence I got was from my siblings, my family. The mixed side, because some of y'all may not know, my dad's mother is mixed. So it's a lot of white people on my dad's side, okay? Guess what? They knew that his grandchild died. They knew that his first grandson, my dad was going to have a grandson, okay? They knew. Nope, didn't see about me. My white aunts, my dad's aunts who are white. Nope. They did not, they did, and they supposed to be Christian though. They will tell you right now, I'm Christian. They all up on Facebook saying they so Christian. When my father died, none of them walked over to say I'm sorry for your loss. They didn't give me and my sister a hug or nothing. They saw us sitting in there crying. You know why they didn't want to hug us? Because our mother was the black mother. That's why. My dad's brother, who had mixed looking kids, they always bragging about them on Facebook, posting their pictures, all this other stuff. But guess what? They don't care about me and my sister. Her mother's too dark. They too black. They don't care. They're some of them with their little biracial features sitting right up there at my dad's funeral, eating his food, just walked past me and my sister like, this is what they did, y'all. Look. All huddled to themselves. They're even running a church. They run a popular church in Pennsylvania. You would have thought, them being Christians, they would have said, let me hold y'all. Y'all literally just buried y'all dad. Nope. No prayers, affirmations, nothing. So y'all not going to tell me that racism don't exist. My family owns one of the most popular churches. If y'all knew the church they owned, y'all would be like, yeah, I see that church on the news. The church was on the news plenty of time because the pastor is a renowned, my dad's cousin is a renowned pastor. We're a very well-known pastor. He's on the news. Every time some big crime happens in the black communities, he's always giving speeches. He's always on there, and he's rich. That's how pastored up he's been for so many years. Him and his family is rich. And guess what? They would only put money in, he did. money in on the weight of my dad's funeral. Now, they're rich. They're rich. Don't you think they could have put $300 on the ashes? That's his cousin. He lived with his cousin, with his mother, grew up with him. My grandmother, who was mixed. Guess what? Nope. Guess who paid for 95% of that funeral? I did. Out of my pocket. Out of my pocket, I paid for it. Out of my pocket. And they sitting up there rich. My dad's side of the family is rich. And I said, are y'all gonna put something on his funeral? Okay, I guess because he died, because he was a drug addict, y'all don't care about him. I thought y'all was Christian. Guess what? I called them all out. I said, what? I'm not gonna get up here and speak about my dad. I'm gonna call everybody damn out in this room. I said, everybody in here is family. This was my words. The only thing I said at the funeral. Everybody in here is family, and we're responsible for each other's spirit. And it's a shame that most of the people in here don't know that. Thank you for coming. Some lady was like, I love you for saying it. You said it out loud. I said, yep. And I walked away. So now every time they think about my dad's funeral, they can think about how rich they were and how poor he was and how they didn't even put $1 on that funeral. They left his oldest daughter to pay for everything. I don't care. Shut up. Look how somebody trying to defend. Are you really trying to defend that trifling Christian behavior? Like, are you really trying to defend that? Okay, y'all Christians love to say, what would Jesus do? Individual, what would Jesus would have done? Do you think Jesus would have sat up there and said, oh, because he's a drug addict and he's poor, I'm not going to give no condolences to his kids. I'm not going to put $1 on his funeral. Now, I love the fact that I get to say that to somebody Christian in here. I love to say that I can. That just made my day. What would Jesus would have done, individual? Yeah, because I am the one to talk. I paid for his funeral. And I paid for his funeral out of my hard-earned money. He didn't ask me to. I did all the arrangements. I designed his obituary by myself. Did the printing, did the setup, did the shopping. And he wasn't even the man that raised me. He didn't raise me. I did what Jesus would have done. I did what Jesus would have done. Now, how crazy am I now that I would forgive my father for not taking care of me due to his drug addiction and still be generous and give him a burial? So how insane am I now? Period. Y'all better hope y'all find somebody like me. Not everybody got somebody just out there in the world that would claim their body and pay for their funeral. And didn't even see them in 20 years. I hadn't even seen him in 20 years. I spoke to him for 5 minutes before he died. I saw him briefly in the hospital when they said he only had a couple months to live. So y'all could dismiss me. I walk this street all the time. These people know me. I walk this street all the time. Why are y'all looking at an old road and assuming it's dangerous? Y'all better stop that. Y'all gonna end up meeting a serial killer. There's plenty of crazy people are living in nice homes. Y'all better stop stereotyping. Some of the most dangerous people are living in beautiful communities. Y'all gonna end up meeting a serial killer sitting up there thinking because somebody driving a nice car in a nice home. Ain't living in a nice hey neighborhood. I'm safe. Yeah. Tell that to the people who got shot by mass shooters. in nice neighborhoods. Tell that to them. Somebody said it's the reason why I'm not. Exactly. My family is a famous, popular. My dad's side is a very well-known Christian family. They be on the news. They own one of the biggest, beautiful church properties. Okay. My family was on the news when all those women was killed in Wilkinsburg, PA. My family, um, they were on the news, um, you know, doing their Christian duty, but they didn't do it for their own cousin, who did nothing to them. All he ever did was be an addict, and he wasn't worthy. He wasn't worthy of a dime from them. They didn't even bring any flowers, y'all. They didn't sit one flower. They didn't say one prayer for his suffering, the way he suffered, such a slow death. Cancer just taking him down. They didn't even come to his hospital room. You know why I know? Because I sat by his bedside for 3 days straight until he died. I never left his side. I sat by my dad's bedside for 3 days straight with his Bible, because he was Christian. And even though I wasn't raised Christian, I still read his Christian. Said prayers for him. I made sure he had somebody to see until the very end. Me, my mom, and my sister came and prayed. We never left his body alone. He never had to die alone. We made sure of that, because he wasn't a bad person. He was just a sick person. He never did a crime. He was actually kind. But I'm trying to understand why people don't give a damn about burying addicts. Like, what did they do to you? They're sick people. Like what? He got a funeral of a king. He got the funeral of a king. He got his obituary made by his daughter. He got his suit picked out by his daughter and his brother. The rest of them didn't help. He had all the arrangements done by his oldest daughter. His older daughter, I was looking him directly in his face when he took his last breath. And I held his arm until his soul left his body. When I saw that it was the end and my intuition said, here it comes, I said, here it comes, Brady, I can feel it. I said that to my sister. I said, doctor, can you please get a priest in here? I said, he needs to hear his last rites, okay? I don't care if he's an addict or not. He still deserves his last rites, okay? I didn't have the tools, the holy water and all that, so I couldn't do it. So the priest came in and stood by his bed, and we bowed our head, and the priest prayed and everything. And then right when his soul was leaving his body, I leaned in his face. I said, goodbye, Dad. Goodbye. And he went, his last breath went in my face, y'all. And then my sister, it was so wild because she screamed at the exact same time as his last breath went out his body, his youngest child. She screamed at the top of her lungs because we still got childhood memories. And when I tell y'all, it was a dead silence in the hallway. You could hear a rat pissing on cotton. Every nurse in there had their head down. They was like lowering their head in prayer when we walked by. We got in the elevator and this lady was like, are y'all okay? That's how grieving our energy felt. She said, are y'all two okay? We said, no, our dad just died. And the lady was like, oh my gosh, some lady in the elevator. She was like, we're having a prayer circle tonight at the hospital. Y'all could come down. I said, I wish I could. I have to do funeral arrangements. Y'all, it was crazy. So this is why I don't worry about being attacked. I've done enough good to know that the Creator most likely is going to let me live nice and long. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I made sure he had his dignity. And then guess what? My dad's family was cleaning his apartment out while I was holding his arm and he was taking his last breath. They were so worried about taking his jewelry because even though he was an addict, he always kept his stuff nice. He was a minimalist, but his stuff was real nice. He always had nice stuff, even when we were kids. So they went there and they took his gold rings that he had for like 40 years. He always wore gold, solid gold rings he had back when, before he was an addict and he had a good job, back in the 70s and 80s. The 70s was fashionable. So he had some real nice, stuff. They went in there, cleaned his apartment out. My uncle came there after he died. My uncle was never there for them days because I know I was there. I slept in a chair. I ate in the cafeteria. I was determined to be like, if I couldn't have my father in life, I will have him when he died. So I was determined to not go. I was determined to not go till he went. But let me tell you, my uncle gonna call me and say, ain't nothing out his house. I said, you worried about his house? He literally just died 1 minute ago. He was like, I'm just saying, it's cleaned out. It's all cleaned out. I said, wow, they was over there cleaning it out while we sitting up here by his bedside. Y'all, it was so evil. I was going to put the blanket over his face when he died. I said, nope. I said, I want them all to see his face when they come here and take whatever jewelry he had on when he came in and be all fake after he died. So I left the covers down so everybody could see his face. Oh, you didn't want to see his face when he was dying? You're going to see his face before you leave this room. And I noticed they was like keeping their back to him. And then somebody was like, you should put the covers over his face. I said, I will. I waited a while and then I put the covers over his face. Do you know, like, my cousin is a well-known pastor here in this state. And he knows that we don't have a dad. And he grew up with my dad and his blood cousin. They slept in the same house, grew up, and this man hasn't checked on us one time. He just sitting there on Facebook, showing off his expensive vehicles, him and his wife cruising around, showing off their elaborate, glamorous mansion and stuff, up on Facebook saying, we Christians, whatever. I said, y'all, they didn't say about us. I even contacted them. It was like, cousin, big cuz. I was like, you ain't sending us no prayers. Why ain't you saying about us? And he looks just like my dad too. He's like almost like a twin, very close to looking like my dad. He never answered me. I text messaged him. He ignored me. I even started posting on the family page in Facebook. Nope. They want me and my sister to just fade out into oblivion. So I said, fine. I won't be on the family Facebook no more. I guess we're a little bit too dark for them. I guess we are. Wow. Whoo. I done planned and buried multiple people's funeral. I co-did my stepdad's funeral with my mom. We did his funeral. I didn't know, y'all. I didn't move so many people out of their house that died. Uncles on my husband's side. We went to his house, moved all his stuff out when he died. Phew. So I feel like these next 10 years, I'm going to just put my energy into myself. It might sound selfish, y'all, but I literally just spent the last 10 years moving dead folks out their house, doing funerals, designing obituaries, shopping for dead people's clothes. I just need to be more among the living more. I need to be in life more. You know, when you going funeral hopping, I said that to my sister at her brother's funeral. I said, you know, we've been funeral hopping for 5 years. She was like, oh, no, you didn't say that. I said, I literally been wearing these same funeral shoes. I had some dress shoes, y'all, that I went to 13 funerals in, and 5 of them was my immediate family members. My sister was like, did you wear those shoes at our mom, dad's, and brother's and uncle's funeral? In grandma's funeral? I said, yup. She was like, oh, no, you didn't. I said, I'm throwing these mother effers away. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I said, I'm a minimalist, but I didn't went too far. These shoes done been in too many funerals. I should write a book called Funeral Shoes. As many funerals as I've been to with the same damn shoes. Y'all, I was going through my drawers. I was like, ooh, all these dead people's obituaries. I was like, ooh, child. I had to take all the obituaries and download them on the CB, or put them on a CD, because I said, no, I'm not going to go in these drawers and see mom, dad, brother, grandma, grandpa, uncle, auntie, all of them buried in 10-year time, all stacked up in the damn drawer. No. So I put them in an envelope with my mother's funeral stuff, and I put the envelope in this box in the corner, out of sight. Shoo. Y'all, my stepdad was married my mother when I was 2. Now let me tell you, let me tell you how strong I am. My stepdad, I saw my stepdad a couple hours before he died. We had a dad and daughter lunch date. And I was hooking up his cable television for him, you know, the cords and stuff, and setting the remote for him. Now, he was dying of liver cancer, but he had got a liver transplant. So this is no lie, y'all. I sat like 9 hours for my dad's liver transplant. And I was my stepdad. I was his caregiver too. His caregiver. I sat like 10 hours for my grandfather's heart transplant. Now, y'all, this is all over 10 years, about 10 years, okay? So I went to my stepdad who raised me since I was 2. I went to his liver transplant, stayed in the hospital, hours and hours and hours in the waiting room, stayed by his side until he woke up. Then went home, took care of him, and then went to work. I would go to my stepdad's home. He had to move back into his mom's house since my mother was at work and couldn't take care of him. So I would drive to his house, take care of him, get him all situated, you know, and nap and all that, his medication. Then I would hop in the car and go to work. This is no lie, y'all. Hop in the car and go to work. Now, at the time I was pregnant and I didn't know. I didn't know I was pregnant yet. So there I was actually pregnant, taking care of my dying stepdad. So I did his funeral, literally passed out the obituaries, helped my mother plan it, helped my mother grieve, you name it, I did it. Moved him out of his place, all his stuff when he died. Now, then I had to deal with, my grandfather now needs a heart transplant. So there we were again, all packed in the same damn hospital where my dad got his liver transplant at. If you ever want to get a transplant, go to Presbyterian Hospital. All their two successful transplants in my family at the same hospital. Okay? So if y'all know anybody that needs a transplant, tell them to go to Presbyterian Hospital in Pennsylvania. Okay? I know people who was on her deathbed with like pneumonia and survived by going to Presby. So my grandfather got his new heart. My grandmother beat cancer like 3 times going to Presbyterian Hospital. So when she finally died, my grandfather, we said, you got a new heart. So he actually lived pretty long with that new heart. So he died. And then my mom died. My dad died, and then my brother died, and then my oldest uncle died. So by the time I went to my brother's funeral, my mother's funeral, I looked down and realized I was wearing the same shoes. Because I looked at my dress shoes, I said, I've had these dress shoes, and these are the only ones I have. And then I realized, I said, I can't keep wearing these shoes. I can't keep wearing these shoes. So I threw the shoes away and got new shoes. And this time, I said, I'm not even gonna wear fancy dress shoes. I'm just gonna throw on some loafers and go up in the funeral, whatever. So I haven't attended a funeral since my mother's. I just go to, the little viewing or the little church service, not actually like the coffin going down the aisle. I don't go to that no more. Okay, I said I did 13 funerals in 10 years, including close friends. Like I don't miss viewings and funerals. If somebody I know die, I'm gonna go see them. And I'ma help. But I don't do funerals no more. Can't do no more. So my father-in-law just died. I told him, I said, I can't move anybody out. I can't. I said, I'm inherited out. I don't want anything. I said, I don't want anything. I'm here for the viewing. Y'all talk, we're here together in the house. But I can't do the ashes, and I'm not going. And what's sad is my husband is wore down too, because he's been to all these funerals too. And he was like, I can't go. I'm out. I said, you out of energy. You can't go to no more funerals. He buried his mother-in-law, and that was it. He said, well, that's a wrap. He said, I'll go to the viewing, but I'm not going to no funeral. So he went to the viewing, where the family gathering. And I went to that. And when they did the ashes, we stayed home. My mother died. My mother was best friends with my husband. They were closer than we were. He was closer to my mother than I was. And I think when my mom died, that just took it out of him. So he didn't go to the funeral. He just went to the viewing like I did on this Christmas morning. And I'm talking about this because the Waiting Gibbous moon is coming up. Death is about to go hard. Death is going hard right now, y'all. When y'all hear people losing loved ones, y'all better start calling y'all loved ones. I just lost my father-in-law Christmas morning. So y'all better go ahead and call somebody up. Like, y'all know how for real. Now y'all didn't heard me say my father-in-law died this Christmas. So y'all need to go and start calling up family members and asking how they doing. Death makes its rounds. Death goes harder between September and February. And often it tends to want to take people around the Waiting Gibbous moon. It tries to take old people. Death likes to take old people on the Waiting Gibbous moon time. Now we're about to come up on the Waiting Gibbous moon. So y'all better start calling your grandmas and grandpas and aunties, man. Quit playing. I'm not venting, I'm sharing my stories. Why every time, you know what's so funny is, as I said, when LGBTQ share what they're going through and their life stories, do y'all say that? Do y'all say this gay man is just venting? No. Why? Why can't I share my stories? We're coming up on a Waiting Gibbous moon. We just got out of Scorpio energy. We're in Capricorn energy. We're supposed to be talking about death, rebirth, heavy losses. I'm right on time. I'm right on time. Oh my God. The earth energy is about looking at what is past, burial energy. Some of y'all got people about to go down in the dirt, and y'all up in here like, who this lady? This lady is a crackhead. And guess what? Your grandma might about to be taken. Like, for real, this is real talk. Karma. You can bring bad karma on your whole family by your conduct alone. Haven't we learned that? The sins of our fathers and our mothers. Come on now, y'all. Come on now, y'all. I hope this is making y'all want to 444 the clock. There it is, toxicity. 444 could be still burial energy, y'all. Come on now. 444 is on the clock, y'all. Y'all better start calling y'all old folks. For real. I'm always on time. In my destiny, I rule synchronicity. So if I'm talking about this stuff, y'all need to be asking why. For real. I don't talk about stuff that's not in alignment with the time. It's impossible. I rule synchronicity. I rule synchronicity in my destiny. Whew. I'm telling y'all the stories. Our ancestors told stories. They didn't just complain. We have to stop complaining and start sharing stories. Stories lead us to ideas and manifestations. Start asking people to share their life with you. Ask them to share their stories. Ask them to talk about their life. Let's stop being so critical and judgmental of each other's energy and start wondering, why are you hearing it? Like, why are you hearing about somebody's life? Why is a stranger telling you their personal business? How you know that's not the angels trying to get you to see that that's happening in your life and you can't see it, or that they're trying to give you a download or an idea? Y'all know how many ideas I found from just listening to other people share themselves? Y'all, I'm telling you. I started a poem this morning that has to do with the earth energy. When I go home, I'm gonna work on this some more. I'm gonna put 2 more stanzas. Then I'm gonna send it for feedback. I'm trying to start a writing critique group, y'all. But it's like, I gotta make sure the people who's in my critique group, we could trust each other. So my walks ain't just for losing weight. My walks is, I'm working through grief right now. I'm working through grief. And I'm, going through a major change in my life as a woman. So I really don't have no tolerance for disrespect. I don't have no patience for it either. Hi, everybody. Thank you for all the condolences and everything. Some of y'all may not knew that my grandfather, my father-in-law, I keep saying grandfather because that's just how close we was. My father-in-law died. He felt like a grandfather to me, but I'm just saying, y'all. I'm trying to get get enough courage to go by his house, to take my mother-in-law some coffee, because she drinks coffee. I'm going to take her a cup of coffee and, maybe some French toast, because I know she likes toast. Just to be like, hey, how you doing? But if you're a writer in here, you should be listening. Why y'all better get y'all notepads out. For real, some of y'all be like, I'm a writer. Okay, but y'all should be like with y'all pencil and paper up in here. I've been saying some stuff. Y'all better start. I know some of y'all be like, "Oh, I don't do drama." Y'all need to do online drama. This online drama could get you ideas, y'all. I'm telling you, drama sells. Drama sells, y'all. Okay. I've been walking for almost 2 hours. Y'all see I'm staggering now. I'm walking till failure now. You know how they say work out till failure, lift weights till failure? I can't do that because my bones is old. But I'm going to walk till failure. And I'm going to shout out in here in these streets if I want to. And I'm going to cry down to the ground during my walk. This is where we need to be releasing at. I don't like releasing in my home. I don't like it. It's like I don't want to release where I sleep at. Like, this is why we got demons coming through our houses. All that carbon dioxide we leaving in our home. No. I think the carbon dioxide attracts demons, y'all. I think hell is full of carbon dioxide. I really do. I'm gonna have me some strawberry, banana, and beet juice. Somebody said beet juice. I said, okay, y'all. I know some of y'all still here. I was just about to do my hair. I was thinking of doing my hair on video, but why even bother? Bye, everybody.